Today we're 100% speedrunning Goat Simulator 3, and this run has a crazy amount of collectibles. Now our speedrun starts with us creating a new save, and after a loading screen we get a couple of cutscenes that we can skip, which are basically a parody of Skyrim, but with goats. We want to head straight over to this tower though, where we can synchronize with it. And towers in this game work similarly to Breath of the Wild, where they give you a fast travel point and show you the entire map for that area. So after going through that cutscene, we can actually go inside, and the tower has to scan us, make sure we're the correct go. Of course we are. And then one nice thing about this game is you can actually move during cutscenes. So we can start our way over to this rock, climb up it, and make our way to this purple circle. That way, as soon as the cutscene ends, we can receive our reward. In these tower rewards, basically you get more as you complete more objectives. And then it's going to get rid of one of those chains and give us an expanded castle. Like for this one, we get a construction goat, and they're going to clean up the entire place just off screen. And as soon as that's done, you can see it's looking nice. And then I want to back up and make my way over to this instinct shrine. That gives us instincts, which are basically smaller objectives you can complete anytime throughout the game. Like right here, what we can do is two of them. We can do a triple jump, and we can also do a backflip. Now we're going to head right outside here, and you can see in the top right, it actually shows us what instincts we can do, or at least it only shows a few. There are plenty of more, and I think in total there are 98 that we have to do throughout the run. So yeah, there's a lot, but we got to hit a couple more instinct shrines, like there's going to be this one. And yeah, one of our very first objectives is to get to every instinct shrine just so we can unlock the instincts and do them throughout the run. But now it's time for Farmer's Got Talent. What I can do first of all is get a second place medal by doing that, and then we also want to get first place, so I want to hit all green, and that's going to give us that crown. So yeah, pretty good stuff right there, and that's a mission. So there are collectibles, there are missions, there's just a ton of different things you have to do throughout this run. So we will be working on every single one of them, and hopefully I can remember where everything is. That might be the hardest part. But for right now, we want to steal someone's car because I'm a goat. I'm allowed to do that. And we're going to bring it over to this ramp, which we want to have it sit up. We just want it to collapse, actually be able to go on the ground and then go up this ramp, because that's another thing we have to complete throughout the map. Like we have 1 out of 6 in this area, and there are more in different areas. And ramps especially are one of the most important things to get, because there's a really good reward you get by getting 19 ramps. So that's another thing as we're going through and getting instinct shrines. That's something we want to focus on. But now I will bring my police car over here. We did get in a bunch of oil, which makes us a bit more slippery, but doesn't really matter. We can just get out of there. I can head back up here, and I actually want to take this car just because it's cooler. I mean, you can shoot oil barrels out of it. Who doesn't want to do that? But excuse me guys, you're kind of in my way. And one thing about every car in this game is you can use a boost, so we can have like super fast speed, but there's going to be this ramp there as well. And we want to head down here because by that garbage place, there's going to be another one. I can just crash my car really quick, lick it, and then climb up. It's very funny how it just doesn't matter what you're holding. As long as you're holding it with your tongue, you're going to be able to bring it with you. Now I see this pizza man. We'll be coming back to him later, but I do want to get this car actually right side up. That is a little uncomfortable, but we got it right there. I can do a quick turnaround and then just go up that boost. That's our 4th ramp, and a pretty good landing on the ground. You know, we did stay up there. Excuse me, dude. Why were you in my way? So now we can just continue with this spot, just kind of using the super fast speed, and conveniently there's going to be another ramp just right here. Yeah, there's a lot of ramps on the outside of this map, at least for this area. And as soon as that's done, we're going to take a break from ramps because there's going to be that egg over there. I just want to go jump out of the car, get a super jump so we can get closer to the island. And this is going to be Easter Island, which you can see because they have eggs and stuff. That's going to give us the event Egg Crackdown, where we want to find 12 different eggs throughout the map to get a secret thing. So our first one's going to be right here. We can just get rid of it, grab these ears, and then also I want to turn them off just because what they do is they have a special ability where they'll show you where other eggs are, but they make a really annoying sound. And we don't need to know where other eggs are because I'm speedrunning, so I already know where they are. But you can still keep them on, just turn off their power, and it's pretty much the same thing. Now I'm looking for another car. Conveniently, there will be one straight over here, so don't mind if I do, buddy. Oh, excuse me. Bro just ran me over. Now I definitely have to hijack his vehicle. Okay, that one kind of got whatever. I guess we're gonna leave that one behind. We'll take your vehicle. You know, we gotta take someone's vehicle. And we're gonna bring this to the left because there's a couple more ramps in this location and also a person. They weren't even in my way. I just kind of wanted to hit them. But we're gonna make this jump straight through there. Then we can actually leave the car because it's gonna be a little bit faster just using our tongue and walking through here, especially going up hills. A lot of these hills are annoying. But that brings us to this ramp over by the top, just just gotta get our car to go the right direction, turn it around, and we can get it to go down this hill and just hope we don't see any trees. Okay, well, you know, that works. We're going down the hill. That's all that really matters. Okay, that was actually a perfect landing. I'm really surprised it worked out that well. Anyways, time to go on from this area. Got a nice convenient 2 ramps right there. And we can continue on this road until we see this other spot where, of course, there's just going to be another ramp. Yeah, there's just a lot of ramps right now because they are essential to the speedrun. Because the power you get for collecting 19 of them is so good, and it makes us go like 10 times faster throughout the rest of the run. So we'll go into this small town city and kind of ruin it a little bit, like by going and putting a car just into their water. I'm sure that's gonna be fine. You know, it's just sitting there. Someone's gonna clean it up eventually. But we'll make our way through here. There is that mission, and we will be coming back to it later. That's a very interesting mission. But yeah, it's really just about getting collectibles and unlocking everything for the map first. But we can get that jump right there. That also gives us a new outfit. Don't mind if I do. And we can head back through this area, move out of my way car. There's going to be a huge party over here and somebody somehow floating in the air. Not sure how that's happening, but I'm also not going to question it. Before one more ramp in this spot, I can just jump out. That was a little bit more of a jump than I wanted, but that's fine. We can just keep walking the other direction because now you see that there's that crack over there. This is the birthday crack, and all we have to do for this is headbutt it a couple of times. That's going to open it up, give us a box, and we can actually get rid of that box while it's showing us this cutscene, showing a bunch of birthday presents. We got to collect a total of 12 of them throughout the map, so this is just another thing that's important to get early on. That way you can do that later. And it's also really nice because it gives us wings. Wings are just super nice in this game, obviously, because you can fly. I love flying. And we'll take that guy as well, some more instincts, and might as well stop over here and do a cooking class. So we got to put some delicious ingredients in this cooking thing. So I'm going to grab a chair. I'm going to grab this thing of oranges, and that looks like a delicious dish. I don't know how you could complain about that. Then by the basketball court, we can grab this cap. For some reason, there's a person playing tennis here. Not sure what that's about. And we're just heading through the city at this point because we got to leave it. We will be coming back here later, of course, for a bunch of more collectibles and objectives we have to do. But for now, we got to make our way. See that beautiful statue? It's looking good. And please give me your car. All right, that was perfect. Because from here, there's going to be this construction yard with a couple people just chilling over here and 2 more ramps. First one is just going to be this one. And second one, if we come down into this place, do a quick turn, and come straight over here, there'll be our second ramp, which we can stop ourselves, fly back, so it's even easier to just abandon cars at this point. Now from here, we just want to walk back to the start of the construction yard because we will have to take one of these people's cars. I didn't even get in the right one. That was weird to give me the right one, but we still hit that person in front of their car. That's what I meant to do, I guess. Anyways, time to head up into the mountains. This is a very steep incline we can go up. Thankfully, we have rocket powers to help us with that. We also see another beautiful statue. Gotta love those. But we're going to be heading to the left first. There are a bunch of these pigs. We can just move out of the way, jump through there, stop our slow motion, and go back behind us. And also, we're going to pick up our very first trinket right here. Now, these are one of the main collectibles of this game, and there are a total of 200 of them throughout the map. So yeah, the biggest worry is just hoping I remember where every single one of them is. And yeah, hopefully that happens. Anyways, time to get back in a car. Time to just destroy these people. They are in my way after all. It's not my fault that you're just standing there. Like, what are you even doing? And I will take that ramp, go with that car, put it in the river. Not my problem anymore. There's also going to be this Bigfoot place where a lot of people want to put Bigfoot in a cage. Kind of rude, but we'll be helping with that later. And we're heading over to the sawmill. This place, there's a few different fun things we'll do. Like, look at those saws. That looks like a fun time. But we will be coming back here later, like a lot of things in this game. It just is really important to finish out these ramps and also get all the instinct shrines. That way we can worry about them. And we only have 5 more ramps we have to get before finally this game starts speeding up a lot. So that is nice. We will take this one, just going down that thing, stopping ourselves, of course. Getting this trophy that was in that outhouse. Don't mind if I do. And we can take one of these trucks because might as well for a little bit of extra speed. But we will only be taking this truck a little bit of distance because we're just bringing it over here so we can switch to the other truck. It's in our way. It's the only thing we can do. But we're going across the dam. Trying not to hit that guy. Okay, that was close. I just barely barely was able to save myself right there. That dude is so annoying. And we'll have to get that ramp in a second. Thankfully, there's some other cars straight over here, so I can just grab one of them. And yeah, didn't lose too much time, and at least I was able to save it. If we fell from that dam, I would have had to reset. But now we do want to bring this car with us, so might as well just use my tongue and bring it over here, which we can get it right on its wheels, turn it around. There is going to be this ramp and yet another car that we just abandoned. Now we want to head back into this area, grab one of these cars in this place, and we can take it back through the sawmill. We won't be doing much in here, but we just have to stop by it. Also, for some reason, the entire screen just gets darker when you come in the sawmill. Not exactly sure what that's about, but excuse me, car, kind of gets stopped by the steps. I need you to actually work, buddy. It's the problem with taking these huge vans. They're a little bit harder to take around, but not the biggest deal. And finally, it's time to make it to the city for our 2 last ramps, at least the ones we really have to worry about. For this one, we'll just come up, take this guy. It's a nice and easy ramp to take. Hopefully land on the right spot. That was pretty perfect. And then we want to head to the left for a while, do a quick turn around these guys to the right, where there's going to be this ramp, and I just have to take that one, and that gives us the Daredevil helmet finally, which the Daredevil helmet is one of the nicest items in the game because it gives us unlimited flight. So we can combine that with our wings, and we can just fly absolutely anywhere we want to go. So you can probably see why we wanted to do this first. Now, I also will take this trophy because there was one run that I forgot about it, and it was really unlucky. Yeah, that's the hardest thing about those trinkets. Just forgetting a single one can just be so annoying. But for right now, I'm going to head down here. I am going to take that trophy, and then we're going to launch ourselves back over to the Hoover Dam. And that's because now that we have the firework launcher, it's much easier to get higher up in the sky. So we can use the power of fireworks to make our way over to this instinct shrine, take that one, and then continue on our way over to downtown. And also, when you don't have to get height, it's nice because you can just use your wings instead of spamming the fireworks. There is going to be this birthday present that's going to give us some horns and stuff, and then I will have to switch back over to our Daredevil helmet. Also heart it so it's on the top of our list, and I'll do the same for the bat wings. Then from here, there's very conveniently going to be one of these instinct shrines, so don't mind if I do right there. And we're heading over towards that bridge. With this bridge, we can grind on this rail because we do want to reach warp speed. That's one of our instincts. So we'll just keep going. That is going to be warp speed. We stop ourselves. There's a pizza man up here for some reason. Not sure what he's doing, but I will take this stuff, head down, and then put back on our Daredevil helmet while we're falling. That'll allow us then to go grab these duck feet and head up here for our very last instinct shrine. So now we can finally really start the speedrun, because at this point we no longer have to collect anything extra. We can just go straight to all the specific things we want, and it's really nice. We can just clear out each individual area. Like right there, we'll take that trophy. Then we can come down here. There's going to be this waterfall. We want to grab a trophy that's just underneath that thing before heading back up to this area, and we want to go back up on this thing, take another huge launch over here. There's a huge golden statue too, which we will be going up to, but first we want to get the fashionista, which is basically a t-shirt cannon, and I will actually save that for later too because it will come in important. But we want to get launched by this air. That brings us all the way to the top of this statue. I can grab that. That's also reaching the highest point of the mountain, which is one of the instincts we have to do for pretty much every area. And we can use this guy's fishing rod to bring up that lighthouse, which is a very interesting design. But now we're going to head down here, ba one time. That way we can lift up this rock. A halo comes down and the rock's going to get out of our way, which then we can see this random guy that's just chilling here. So what I'm going to want to do is stand by here. And now we get a new costume, which is whoever this dude is. Don't worry, we will switch back to our goat in a second. But for now, just for speed's sake, we will stay as him. And I mean, he has all the same abilities. Like we can go firework our way all the way over to this lighthouse so we can grab that trophy and also punch out that for the day-night cycle. And then we want to make our way over towards this tower, which yeah, just another one of these where we want to synchronize. Also, a nice thing about these towers is it's the perfect time to change some of your outfits or go to our quest and we can pin an instinct, which is one of our instincts. Now from here, we're going to head down to this bridge area because there is going to be this trophy. I just want to launch my way there. That's nice. And now we want to make our way over towards that electric place. In this area, what we want to do is start up a 5G tower so we can get ourselves electrocuted, and you stay electrocuted for a little while. And during that spot, what we can do is grab each one of these towers, and you can see just how nice the firework launcher is, by the way. So that's then going to do its thing. It's going to bring its 5G powers all the way to that main tower. And yeah, that's another thing we will have to collect as we go through, but there are only 3 of those. From here now, we can bring over this car and then take another one of these ramps, because even though we got the best thing out of the ramps, there still are a couple more that we have to complete for 100% completion. So we do that, then we're heading over here. We're going to climb up this mountain, which is especially easy with the firework launcher, and straight into this area where there are all these trees. There's just this like mystical pond. Not really sure what that's about, but we will take the trophy. That's all I really care about, if I'm going to be honest. And then into here, there's a gigantic rock concert that's going on. So we want to go grab this disco ball first, be able to get through there, get that trophy. Then with the jump off that snake, we can also get that trophy. And finally, for this area, there's just 2 outfit things we got to get. There's going to be this t-shirt, and there's also going to be this drum set, which gets put on us, but we do want to get rid of it right away, get back to our bat wings. Now that's all you have to do in that area. We can now come downwards and to the left a little bit, because straight over into here, there's going to be this system and a trophy at that part. Then finally, for this little area, what we want to do is make our way to this trophy, grab that, and then find a car. I am not getting the luckiest car spawns in the world, but I guess there's a police car over here, so don't mind if I do. It's funny because we still have the other police officer in the passenger side, just kind of chilling as we take this. I mean, we are a goat. It's our type of thing we do. We just steal cars sometimes, but then I just get rid of the car because I got all my use out of it after that ramp. And I can also grab this trophy from that pool. Now from there, we want to head over to this museum where there's a bunch of banana peels at the top of this, and we want to slip on all of them. Yeah, one of our instincts is to slip on 5 different banana peels, so we can grab that and also get the trophy before actually going into the museum, just breaking through because I don't like going through doors, and taking that trinket as well. From there, there's going to be this pier over here. We can make our way to this spot, grab that trophy, and then make our way down here by this fisherman where there's going to be that one. But we get a tiny break from the trophies at this point because we're going to grab this life preserver, get rid of that so we can go back to the wings. But now we have another one of these missions where for this one, what we want to do is first destroy that sand sculpture. I'm the only one allowed to make sand sculptures here. And we got to make a beautiful sandcastle. And the easiest way to do that is by stealing other people's sandcastles and combining them. So we just grab a sandcastle, bring it over here, start constructing it, and do this over and over again for 5 different times. Also, sometimes there are people trying to work on my sandcastle. You're not allowed to. This is mine. But after all 5 of those, we finish our sandcastle, and it gets absolutely gigantic, and we can enter through it. And now this is going to be the CSGO reference, where we get a bunch of these sandmen coming out, and all we have to do is headbutt them and just do this over and over again. There are going to be 3 total doors they can come from, so I just like going to the center area, seeing where they are. They try to kick me, which is really rude, but we'll just keep going and headbutting them. That's pretty much the entire mission. I believe this should be the last guy. That's going to get us that one done. Switch back to our Daredevil helmet, of course. And pretty fun little one, but we're not done with the beach just yet, because now we got to find some people. First, we actually have to spawn them in. Sometimes they take a little bit, but I'm deciding they're not having enough fun on their vacation. You should be enjoying the beach even more, and the best way to do that is going and swimming. So we're just gonna hit multiple people into the ocean. Hopefully they can swim, but that turns them into people that are actually having a good time. Now we can take this volleyball with us, and excuse me, volleyball. Okay, as I was saying, we'll take this volleyball with us, and there's gonna be this guy over here, and we want to get him to play catch with us. So I'll give him this volleyball. He's like, oh, sir, look, a volleyball. You want to see it? Okay, that person doesn't want to help us. So how about you, man? You want a volleyball? Okay, there we go. Yeah, sometimes the NPCs in this game are not the best. But now we just got to get this guy to throw it back to us. That way we can play catch. So I'll just keep going around, you know, making him turn his head. Eventually, he is going to throw it, and we got to play catch with him. Oh, gosh. Okay, that did work. Thankfully, that counted. Sometimes it won't when something like that happens, which could have been really bad. But now we'll go ahead in there, take that snorkel, get rid of it. And that's good right there. But now the police are going to be after me, and I both have to get captured by the police a couple of times, and also I have to get them to capture each other. So there's one time I got captured. I was trying to get them to get each other, but I just gotta line them up, and excuse me guys, Oh, there we go. Got it right there. Now I just got to get captured twice more, get one of those, use my firework to actually go up there, and that's going to be getting captured by the police 3 different times. So just a little mission out of the way that we have to worry about, and from there we can head up into here. We got to jump from there, get that trinket, and then we want to go into this spot and grab this guy by the fountain, and then also another one on top of this octopus. Dude is just chilling right here. Don't mind if I take him, and then straight over here there's someone selling ice cream, but I'm gonna take their trophy too. And now we'll grab this car, actually going in the perfect direction for me, so we can take this ramp straight up there and try to keep this car alive. That is perfect. Sorry, dude, trying to pay. But now we want to hit the top of this octopus with our car, so I want to use a huge boost, hope that I actually hit it, and there's gonna be Octobonk. So pretty good stuff. Now time to make our way over to Rava, which this is like an exclusive club, but I'm a goat, so I don't really care if it's exclusive. And we'll head up here. There's a bunch of people dancing. I can join them. They all stopped dancing for some reason. Kind of awkward, but I'm also gonna take these new shoes. And we will exit out through there, come over here, and we see the kind of basic store, which I can go crash through, grab that shirt, and then there's going to be all these fireworks. Now, one of our instincts is to get exploded by fireworks 3 different times, and for 2 of these, we could do this in this store. Then for the last one, we just want to come out of here. We can get launched into the sky one more time. That's pretty good stuff right there. And now we have to climb up this entire building, which just takes a little bit, but it's pretty easy because we have the rocket powers. Because at the top of here, there's going to be another one of these birthday presents, and we'll get some horns out of that, as well as these wings on the other side. I'll take both of those before jumping straight down. And conveniently, right over here, you probably forgot about them, but we have more eggs to kill. This one's just trying to have therapy, but unfortunately, no therapy for you. I'm gonna take your saddle, switch back to my wings, and now we're going through here because in this spot, there is going to be this trophy that's also gonna give us the golden shoes. We're gonna want to come back to this guy, grab him, bring him over to the barber shop because we do have to be amazing at giving people hair salon stuff. Also, that did change my hair, and I was trying to launch myself, and that didn't really work. But anyways, we got the barber outfit, and now we can come up this building with this guy with the same hairstyle that I used to have, you know, for like a second. But with this point, we just want to climb up this building, grab that trophy, and then come down here where there's going to be another trophy in this water. So I can grab that one too. Gonna be some more trinkets, and then we can go into this spot, get that trinket before it's now time for another one of this game's secrets. Now we want to come over to this door and we want to bow to it. And if we bow to it, then it's going to open up for us. And now we can buy loot boxes. But thankfully, these aren't loot boxes for actual money. They're just for our goat points. So you can see once we buy a loot box, it gives us this treasure chest. We can go and open it. It takes a little bit of time, but the first one is always going to give you some gear. But we still do need 2 more pieces of gear through these loot boxes. And now, I mean, it's a loot box. You're not always going to get what you want. Like this time when we open it, it's just going to be some people. And that actually works out pretty well because there is an instinct for getting some people to pet you, which you have to stand still for. So hopefully these guys are going to pet me while I'm opening the loot boxes. And these are the perfect times because for the other ones that actually work, it's a really long opening process because, you know, they're trying to build that anticipation. So this is going to be our next piece of gear, but for our final thing we need to get, it's going to be even longer. So after a couple more loot boxes, you see we got the really long opening one. So yeah, I'm going to be here for a while. And also, right as it's about to open, I'm pretty sure we just got pet by one of them. So that's really nice. We can open that, we can get that stuff, and continue on our way. Do have to get rid of the Royal Knight stuff, though. Or at least the helmet, because of course we do want our firework launcher. We can come down into here, grab this trophy as well, and then come to the left where there's going to be another one of our egg friends. Or I don't really know if you can call them our friends because we're kind of killing them. But anyways, we're going to grab this chicken mask, and we can go into this vent. While we're going in there, we'll switch back to our Daredevil helmet because that is the perfect time. And we can jump up to this guy, which is going to be another one of these birthday presents. This time, a nice hat. Now we want to head on top of the movie theater because they actually lost the movie, so we have to find it for them. And conveniently, it's just at the top of their roof, along with this trophy. So we'll head down here, bring it actually into the theater, and give it to them for the lost tape mission. And now we want to find a date to the movie theater, so I'll just take this guy. He looks good enough. We'll bring him over with us. That is going to be that instinct, and we can also take this TV head. But now from here, we want to head behind the movie theater because there is going to be a lost pacifier here, and that's just another thing we need to collect. I want to get rid of it right away though. Before heading over into this direction, which this is like a medieval area, and like usual, there's just going to be a couple collectibles. There's this trophy right there. There's going to be this night guy who's spinning around. And then what we can do is switch out of the night guy, switch to the fashionista, and also stop our powers from the rocket so it doesn't just send us flying. And we got to do some target practice. So we hit all of those things, put back on our regular stuff, and then get this reporter because one of the missions is to make this guy into a daredevil. So, you know, I'm just going to be flying with him. We're having a great time together. And we'll make it over to this spot just in case I'll put him down. I do want to hit that. Oh, sorry, dude. There's a mission to hit 10 of those things throughout the map. So I just want to make sure I have that instinct. But we're going to send both of us towards the Hoover Dam to make him a daredevil and also to drain the dam so we can actually go there. We got out of the water. Our goat is not having the best time, but gets back to normal after that. And now we only have a few more things we have to do in this area before, oh my gosh, goat. Okay, you're fine, man. Poor goat. He's just trying to live his life, but things keep trying to kill him and stuff. Anyways, there is going to be this trophy here I'll take. Then we want to go into the construction yard where there's going to be one by this rock and one over by the top of this. So I'll take both of those. Then in this building right by here, there's going to be this tape measure, which makes us an architect. And the mission for this is to measure 100 meters. And that's pretty easy. All you have to do is take it down a long road. So we'll bring it all the way here. As soon as that's done, we can switch back to our daredevil helmet and head back the same direction we came because there is going to be this leaf blower and we want to use it for community service. Now, all you have to do for this is get rid of all the trash and also get rid of the people that are trying to put trash on here. Finally, though, after a while of blowing them away, we get that done. We can switch back to our wings and we want to come down into here where there are going to be a couple fishermen and it's time to ruin their days. They're just trying to have a good time fishing, but I got to get caught by fishermen 3 different times. So I'll just go up to them. That's going to be number 2. Dude insults me for that. That was so rude. And we can get this last one. That's going to be that instinct. Then we can go over to this buoy where there's going to be a trophy. And there's also going to be this gigantic whale that just eats us. So now we're in the belly of the beast, but this one's pretty simple to get out of. First, I do want to destroy that. That way I get on fire and I can let myself out of fire by getting over there. Then we can jump through here, hit him 1 time, but we do want to kiss him really quick. So we'll use our tongue on his tongue if it wants to work. There we go. And now all that I have to do is just hit this thing a couple of times. The whale gets upset at us. It actually sneezes us out, which sends us all the way over here, which is a perfect spot because this is exactly where we want to go. There's going to be this guy just looking at the trinket. That's my trinket. Don't take it from me. And we can launch ourselves with the air through here, which there's going to be this giant globe. And we just want to keep hitting it a couple of times. And once it's high enough, it can reflect the sun's rays and melt that ice, revealing a UFO. So just a few more things to do in this area. For this next one, we want to head down over towards this blue building, grab this trophy right there. Then we can just head up here. There's going to be this shoe store across the way. We can take those rollerblades. And up from there, there's also going to be this ghost store where we can take that. We can stop our daredevil helmet from going. And what we want to do is possess this same guy 5 different times. So I just bully him. You know, we just have him here and that's going to be nice and easy. Pretty sad for him, but it's what we got to do. And now we just got to head up these couple of buildings, make our way up this staircase, and on top of this water tower, there's going to be another one of our trophies we got to get. Before heading down to the left, there's a trophy by this tree. Then heading even more to the left, there's another trophy over in this cave thing, along with a person just sitting here. Not my problem, whatever they're doing. But for the final bits of the city, we can launch ourselves up. We can go up this ladder. We can head up here using the fan before grabbing this trophy and also go into this tower, which we're going to synchronize with, of course. Finally, a little bit of a break for me to relax. There's a lot of things to do in this game. Now, our last couple of things for now are going to be over in this direction. There's this tech place, which has the pointy phone, and we're going to take those earmuffs. Then we can go down here by this guy, break through that, get that t-shirt, and put back on our stuff. Next up, we'll head over to this fountain, go through there, get that trinket, and we are at 36 out of 37. That's because I forgot to get one of them, but we'll just come back for it later. Because for now, we'll just do that ramp, get out of the car, and it's time to go over to downtown, which right away we want to go on top of this building if it wants to let me. And there's going to be this trophy we can grab before heading down here, and now it's time for an election. So what I want to do is get a bunch of people to vote for me, and the greatest way to do that is by convincing them that you have great policies. So that's what I'm going to do to our very opponent, convince him to vote for me. And you know, why get multiple people to vote for you, like a bunch of them, when you could just get the same 2 people to keep going in your voting booth and vote for you over and over again? That's honestly the best way that democracy does work, just getting the same people to go write your name in multiple times. Don't actually do this, by the way, it's a joke. But after doing that enough times, we get all the votes, and now we're mayor, or I guess we're president, so that's pretty cool. And we get this very cool hat, which gets really long. So what you can do is you can lick things and then press R1, and then that puts them on our head, and we want to do this with 25 items. So yeah, this is just a pretty slow thing where I just keep finding stuff until finally we have all 25. We can get rid of our tower hat, and yeah, we were a great president, what can I say? But from here, we want to head over into this direction, and there's always going to be a nice car there somehow. Okay, usually it's more in that thing, but you know, this is Goat Simulator. Things don't always work out how you want. Anyways, we can take that, get rid of that car, put it into the ocean, and come over here where there's going to be this guy. Now, with this paint can, we can go and make some beautiful artwork, so of course we will, and we're also going to save that before putting back on our Daredevil helmet. But yeah, there's just going to be a bunch of artwork that we got to make as we go through. Now it's time to go ahead and take some jumps up here and pretty much just climb this building. You know, this game would be much harder if you actually had to climb instead of just using your hat. I like the hat much better. But over by the top, there's going to be this trophy I can take. I can get boosted by the fan, come up to this thing, and now just a little bit higher up, there's going to be another fan. We can launch ourselves, get the highest point of downtown, which is one of our instincts, before getting launched by that fan and also getting that trophy. Now, on top of this building, what we want to do is come down here. There's going to be this trinket that I'll take. Now we come over to this building. We're gonna get some more clothing, which I can pop in there, and also grab this guy and put him in there as well. You know, he deserves some new clothing. I'm sure he's gonna love it. But from there, now it's time to go and rob a diamond. So we can break through these doors, and you see this huge exhibit that you have to make it through. So first of all, we're gonna come through this vent. That pops us out the other side, and there's a bunch of lasers we can't hit. That first set, you can actually just walk underneath, which is really funny. I guess it's made for humans, not goats. But then we just come through here. There's a couple people at the end, but we take the diamond ring only for it to get destroyed and us to get put in prison. Thankfully, though, we can just get out of there. It's very easy to. And that's just going to be that entire mission. We pop out the other side, and here what we want to do is collapse, make it under that thing, and be able to get that trophy before just coming out the same way we came in. Now we can jump over towards this bush because there's going to be a secret thing. There's going to be this hacker mask first, and I will want to save this guy as well for later. And of course, there is also that trophy. Then we can go over by all these pet stores, and we want to go through this vent a couple of times because one of our instincts is to go through a vent 5 times. We already did it 2 times just throughout the game, but we can do it 3 more times there, get that instinct. And then there's going to be a whistleblower. So we got to capture 3 whistleblowers, which in this game, that just means people who like whistling. And we also want to go taunt the police station because it's just what we do, but we're going to put that whistleblower in prison. Then from there, there's going to be this trophy by the end. We can also open the backside of the prison, come down through here. There is going to be this trophy, and then come over here. We can get ourselves launched up and okay, I didn't want to ragdoll there, but I guess it is what it is because it isn't too big of a deal. We just launch ourselves again, make it up here. There's going to be this trinket before coming down, and right by that one is just another one, so I can grab this guy too. And then even farther down, there's going to be another one of these paintings, so I want to put back on this guy and make it much more beautiful. You already know. Before switching back to our Daredevil helmet, and from here, there's going to be that trinket. Then we can head over to these guys, and we want to blow up all these balloons, which all you got to do is just jump on this thing a couple of times. Now, eventually, once we get it enough, we can then go in this because we do have to take a ride in the shopping cart. And once that's done, we can then go back. And also, oh, I actually forgot for a second. I was wondering why I was going in my menu. It's because we wanted to put on Helium Havoc, and I will will also save that guy as well. But we gotta make 10 cars float in the air. Now, a nice thing is you can just keep doing it on the same car. So as long as I'm hitting this car's wheel, you see in the top right, the create floated cars is going up, which is really funny. And that's gonna be that instinct. Then we can go across the road over into this area where, of course, there's gonna be another outfit. This one's gonna be a suit and we're looking great in it. Oh, there's also police officers. Get out of my way, guys. Oh my gosh. One of the citizens just kicked them. What is going on? Anyways, not my problem. We gotta head up this building because we gotta become even fancier. So we can come into this meeting room and, of course, grab a briefcase. Then from there, just down into this direction, there's going to be another painting. This one, of course, is gonna give her some beautiful eyes and stuff, followed by coming up to this spot. And there are a total of 3 whistleblowers we have to find. So this is gonna be our second. Time to bring them to the police station. I love how they still whistle even as you're bringing them to the police station. They just love whistling. But put that guy in there. That's going to be 2 of them. And now we're going to head over to the construction yard. Within here, there's a couple different trinkets. There's going to be this one first, then we can pop out. And just on the other side, there's going to be this other guy. And then from there, we want to go into this secret club. And you can only go into this club if you have a suit on. So since we have the suit, we go in. And this thing is just basically a gigantic maze you got to make it through. So I got to hope that I actually remember the way. In general, I remember going to the left. We want to take this left path over here, and a little bit to the right there's going to be this giant bowling ball, which we can move out of the way. We can grab this trinket, also hit that porta potty, because that is one of the things we have to do. We have to headbutt 10 different ones of those. And now there's a couple more collectibles and some more of these guys, so of course I will hit them as well. Before getting to this greenery section, head into the right. There's 2 people just chilling there, so I know I'm in the right direction. And through here there is going to be this next trinket. Then we can head back the same way we came in through this tunnel, and then we just kind of go through the maze a little bit more until we find this huge party room where there's just a ton of goats just having a great time. But I gotta ruin their party because I'm trying to go fast. I will take this trinket, and I'm also gonna take this really cool hair, which we're taking off as soon as we put on, but pretty good stuff, and we can exit. Yeah, that maze area is really confusing, especially when you're learning it, but once you know where to go, not too bad. There are going to be some more of these dudes here though, so I want to hit all 3 of them and also bring some construction workers because there is somebody who's just dying down there and we have to get some people to help with this predicament. So I just kind of grab these people and force them to. We can get our last person right here, and all of these guys are going to decide to work together. They lift it up and then they decide that they have superhuman strength. So they don't just lift it up, they throw it all the way up into the air. But unfortunately for us, what goes up must come down. So now, even though we complete the mission, every once in a while, this thing is just going to collapse on us. So yeah, it'll just happen. Not the biggest deal in the world. And now from here, I want to come up. There is going to be that trophy, which we can take. And then from there, there's also going to be this birthday gift. So of course, we can hit that a couple of times. Now we can come down into this section, and there's going to be another trophy over here before jumping up into the air. And there's going to be this rhino car, which this rhino car, not the most fun thing to drive, but we do got to take it with us. So I'm just going to bring it with me all the way over here. Hopefully, oh, that was actually a really good landing until it stopped. Okay, rhino car. Chill rhino car. Anyways, we want to take this thing with us, and we got to get a couple more jumps so I can do this jump nice and easily. And then there's going to be some other cars we can switch to, which might as well. Like this one over here, I'll just turn around, do that jump, and then I actually want to exit the car and come up here. Oh, there was a thing that just crashed on me. But anyways, that's because there's going to be another one of these eggs, which I can crack. A bunch of ducks come out of there, and I don't like the sounds that the suit makes, so we're going to get rid of all of that. Now, before we take the car a little bit further, we do have to do this event. And for this one, what we're trying to do is murder these people. They're relaxing on the job. We can't be having that. Oh, I thought I killed all of them for a second. There's still one more to get. So we got to get this guy to get off the crane. You just got to move this left and right, and that's going to be that mission. Then we will take this car van thingy over here. Excuse me, please land on your feet. I appreciate it. From there, we can take this with us, move out into this direction, go over here, and do another ramp. We're almost done with the ramps, actually. There are only like a few more, I'm pretty sure. But at the bottom of here, there's also going to be this trophy I take. Before then, we want to go to the map and head back to the Statue of Liberty. Now here, I do have to get the trinket I forgot earlier. It's with this event where we have to make this guy a 10. So I'll bring over this box. That makes him get magical powers for some reason. So that's pretty cool. And it's also going to give us pixie wings. And now we can go in this 10. Now from here, I just want to jump my way over. There's a ton of these storage containers, but the only one I care about is getting that one right there. We can jump up with that guy and make our way over to this outfit, which that gives us the unicorn head. Of course, get rid of that immediately. And all we have to do for the end of this is come into this guy's hand. That's going to put us back to the real world and also give us a new skin we can put on. But now it's time to teleport back to this place again. And that's because we want to go back up to the big statue. But this time, what we're going to do is launch ourselves up, go over to this guy's neck, and then we want to put on the painting thing, put it on his neck. And yeah, that is going to be one of the missions we got to do. Sorry about that, buddy. I mean, maybe he likes the tattoo. Maybe he's enjoying it a lot, but time to make our way over towards that tower. This, of course, is going to be another one of our fast travel points. We'll just synchronize with it really quick. And after it shows us the entire area, there's a couple more things we have to do in downtown. We get rid of Goku, and we're going to take this sword. Excuse me, Goku. We're going to take this sword, take it out, and that gives us the sword in stone. Then we want to start heading up this tower if we can. So I will start climbing up this thing using my rocket, whatever available. And then also, once we're a little bit high enough, we should just be able to jump up here over towards this balloon because there is going to be that trophy there. Now we want to jump down. We go into this convention, and right here, we're going to take this shield, and we want to hit a total of 5 different people before it comes back to us. So I'm just going to try to do that. And what I like doing is just going up to the top. Oh, we actually already got it. Okay, usually that guy takes a little bit longer to get, but I'll take it. So from here, we got to do some character creation, and we're just going to give this guy some beautiful armor and stuff. He's going to look great, and I just take anything I see. Like here, we get a waist spin. That's going to look great on him, and that gives us that mission. There's going to be this place, which, excuse me, door. Security officer trying to attack me. I don't want to deal with him. And over here, this is going to be our last one of these painting things. Gotta love how the people are trying to clean it, and then I just come through and I'm like, nah, you're not cleaning this. I gotta make it even, oh, excuse me. I gotta make it even more beautiful. The first time it didn't work for some reason. But we can now uncheck mark that so it's no longer at the top. Switch back, and we're coming, oh wait, actually before I go down there, we should get this trophy. So I will grab that, and then we're coming down here because it's time for some fishing. And the fishing minigame is pretty easy. All you have to do is go over towards the bubbles, and you could actually catch multiple fish in the same bubble pile, sometimes up to 3 if you're fast enough. But yeah, we're just gonna do this. Now, finally, after a bit of fishing, that's gonna be Bob, which is a new outfit, and this guy is also terrifying. But everybody hates Bob for some reason, so we're just gonna go up to people, and for some reason, they get angry at us and start kicking us. And one of the instincts is to get kicked 15 times as Bob. So yeah, kind of sad. I don't know if this references anything or something like that, but yeah. Now finally, after 15 kicks, we can take this off so they won't be as angry at me. And we're gonna go into this comedy show. We're gonna get the disguise. It looks great on us. And now for our last few things. First of all, what we want to do is head up to this tower where there's gonna be a fly swatter. And we're just gonna kind of chill here for a second because there is gonna be the superhero fly man that's flying through the city. And as soon as we see this guy, we want to go to the fly swatter, use it, and dude just dies. But that does give us a costume, so I had to do it. My bad, man. But now after that, it is time for our final whistleblower, which this person is going to be right here. I will grab them really quick, and we can bring them to the police station. And as soon as we put that guy in prison, that's going to give us the police outfit, which what we want to do then is get caught in our own police handcuffs for another one of our instincts. So that's pretty funny. It is time for our last few things for downtown. So we're going to want to head up this entire tower, which is a pretty tall one, but obviously we have firework powers, so it's not really a problem for us. And also, this is the perfect time to use the trampoline 10 times in a row, so we might as well do that here. And while we're also doing this, it's also a perfect time to get some flips in. Now, the flips in this game are very weird. They just don't like working, but we have to do a bunch of flips, and please, game, just give it to me. Okay, there's 2 of our flips, and then I get hit. Oh my gosh, game. Okay, there is another bigger flip we have to do, and I just wish they actually counted when you flipped. Okay, so we got that. I cannot get these flips for the life of me, though. Okay, we're gonna have to worry about that mission later. That was being very strange. Anyways, whatever. We got the instinct at least. And we're gonna come over here. We're gonna get these taco shoes. Then we can come up into this place where there's gonna be a show we're gonna go to later. But for right now, we just wanna grab this guy and also this guy straight over there. That's almost all of our trinkets. But now it's time for the puppet show, which for this puppet show, literally all we're doing is moving the scope back and forth. And yeah, they're just 3 acts of just moving him back and forth. That's it. He did somehow get in the roof. I hope this will still work with it being like that. Oh, wait, we can actually bring him down. Okay, yeah, we're just killing people. And finally, this is our last one. I have no idea why they added this in the game. This is a part for sure. But after we get it done, we can now control people like puppets. So I'm going to turn off my Daredevil helmet. And what I want to do is aim at these guys, charge that up, and then we literally just control them. And now they're puppets. And we want to do this for 7 different people. So I'm just going to go through and get these guys. Thankfully, there's just a bunch of people in this one area, so I can just easily go through. And this should be our last person. That's what we need for that. We'll keep Puppet Goat on because I kind of like him, but we will turn off his ability for now because we don't need it anymore. And for our last trinket in this area, we can just come straight over here, grab this guy, nice and easy. Okay, there's some front flips. Hopefully this can count, please. There we go. There's Twisty McGoat. That was what I was trying to do while I was on the trampoline. This game just didn't want me to. Anyways, there's going to be another egg thing we can get. Take it off right away, of course. And we can head over to this X marks the spot. And what you want to do is ragdoll here. That way you don't get flung as much because we're trying to get this X marks the spot. And this octopus or whatever this thing is helps us with that. So it just keeps coming through, keeps destroying that thing. Finally, we can grab that hat and try our best to get out of here. So pretty good stuff right there. Time to head up this mountain now. And over by the top, there is going to be another outfit thing. I will take yet another hat. This game just loves giving me hats, and then I have to stop wearing the one I currently am. But now we can take this car, bring them into the air. Unlucky for them, but we got to bring them down to this ramp. And this is actually going to be our very last ramp. So all I got to do is not hit those barrels, apparently. Anyways, all I got to do is take this ramp and we're going to get Wheeler Dealer, which we might as well do this one right now. What you have to do is you have to not hold the R1 button too much, because if you do, the car on our thing will release, and then what it will do is it will make a car spawn in the real world. So instead, we want to keep having this go at a high speed. So I just keep pressing and releasing it over and over again, and we want to do this for 20 seconds. Finally, we get it right there. We can get rid of that thing, get back on our wings. Then up here, there is going to be this present, which we can headbutt a couple of times, get our investigator stuff, but switch back over to Daredevil. And now it is time for the horror section, though it's not actually that scary. All we got to do is just keep walking through this, but it's going to be the exact same hallway every single time, except something is going to change up, like there might be more pictures or something. There's going to be this one where we walk through it, but the door closes on us, so we go back, it opens, we go back, it closes, we do it one more time, and finally the door actually will stay open. And yeah, it's kind of just this over and over again, just with slightly different things. This one's fun though, because we have all these people having a party, but I don't like them having a party, so we destroy the radio. Unlucky for them. Then there's this one where there's a grandma that is hitting us with like bowling balls or knitting stuff, and we just gotta kill her. So unlucky for her, but she was kind of destroying me. There's gonna be this one where we gotta look in the bathroom really quick, and now we just have to go through this door a couple more times until finally we make it over here. The exit door is gonna open for us, and that's gonna be that part. So now we're heading over into this direction, and straight over here, that's going to have this trophy there. So I will take that, head back into this place where there's going to be another trophy. And now we're in the zoo area, which the zoo area is very interesting. First, we could go through here. We could grab this trophy just in this building. And then there's also going to be this costume, which I will grab as well. Make sure I don't get flung by that thing before heading in between there, because that is going to be one of our instincts. Then at the zoo, there's also going to be that trophy before we go into the gift shop. Within here, there's going to be this really cool hat. I love it so much, but we can't keep it on our head for too long because it's time to go and save Billy. So Billy is very contained, and we want to save this dude because that would be a very tragic life. So we're just gonna go bring him out to the sea. Billy, I need you to follow me, man. Don't just get unattached from me. You gotta go into the sea. Enjoy your life, Billy. So we let him go into the sea, and that is gonna be the mission. We get to see him escape. He might always be a cube for the rest of his life, but at least he gets to enjoy it. Well, at least that's until he gets eaten by a whale. Unlucky. Anyways, I did what I could. I tried my best. And now we're heading up this mountain. Because we have to save the animal that these guys stole from the zoo, I'm gonna go take that guy, use my tongue to bring him back to the zoo. And if we bring the rhino all the way to their exhibit, then we get this costume. Yeah, we can now be a rhino instead of a goat if we want. It is a very big goat, so we won't be keeping it for too long, but we can enjoy it for a little bit. And we're kind of making our way back to downtown because there's one more thing we have to do here. And all of that is taking this rhino car, because one of our objectives is to hit a rhino with a rhino car. So we'll bring the car all the way over towards this exhibit, get it to hit the ground. Excuse me, car. These things are always so weird, but they're really good at getting back on themselves. And now we can hit that rhino. That gives us that instinct. We can come over here, buy their food, and then that is going to be a trophy. And final little stuff for this area is going to the dolphin show, where these guys are having a very interesting show. I gotta hit them out of the way, of course. And we have to go on top of this building where there's going to be an explosive here for some reason, but there's also gonna be an egg, so we'll take that really quick. And then while we're grinding on this stuff, we actually want to switch off the scarf back to the helmet just to speed up everything we have to do really quick. But we can climb up this tower, and that's going to be the highest point of the zoo, which is another instinct we got to get before we come down into this spot. And there's also going to be this very nice Santy suit, whatever that is. Now it's time to head up this mountain, which we can just do like normal, because now we have to get this house to fly. So first of all, I'm just going to climb up this very tall place, because usually when you see something that's very tall, there's probably a trophy up there. This is not the exception. And now we have to come to these wind turbines, and we have to steal their batteries. So there's going to be this one first. We'll take that battery out of it, and then we're bringing it over to this blue one, and we can place it right there. Then we do the same for this one. There's somebody just dancing there. Kind of had to move them out of the way. Sorry, buddy. And bring that one over, which now, with both of these things, this causes his entire mansion to just go up into the sky. And yeah, this is definitely how wind turbines work. So yeah, we're flying now. That's fun. So now we can jump down, and within the house, there is going to be this thing, which this is the tickler, and it's insane. And we also want to attach the grappling bow to us for right now, because one objective is to grapple for 250 meters without landing. And the easiest way to do that is right here. Well, what we want to do is just put our grapple in that thing, and then we can just go around in circles, which is really funny that this works like this. And yeah, this will count as 250 meters. I just keep going in circles. Eventually, that is going to be all the grappling we need to do, so we can put back on our helmet, put back on our wings, and jump down here, which now we want to grab one of these golden cars that were in front of this guy's house. I don't know who owns this house, but they're kind of insane. But we'll take this golden car. We got to bring it with us, and we also have to destroy these things, get that trophy. Then there's also going to be a trophy straight up here that I can take. Before now, what we want to do is bring this golden car with us to the side of this mountain. We just want to get it to land in a pretty good spot. Hopefully not fall off. Excuse me, car. Okay, that's pretty good, because one of our instincts is to reach the top of the mountain with a vehicle, and we kind of just cheated by doing it that way, but I mean, the game allows it, so I'm not going to complain. Now, while this tower is also going up, I want to reach the top, so I can kind of help by doing that, but we'll wait out this entire cutscene. You know, the one that normally happens. And then this top of the tower is also going to be the highest point, so we got to grab that. Before then, what we want to do is come down into this direction where there is going to be this other egg. I can grab that guy really quick, and that's going to give us the unzipped goat suit, which is a very interesting suit. But I can grab that trophy. I can also come down here, and that is going to get us a new back thing, which I'm going to get rid of right away. But now we want to climb back up the mountain a little bit, because we're trying to reach this point. There is going to be this statue, and also up here, there's going to be this paraglider. So I can grab this thing, and you can see it's a pretty nice thing. It's got a penguin on it and stuff. But now I want to use the paraglider and get really high up in the air so we can glide for 30 seconds seconds with the paraglider. So I'm just going to keep using my fireworks for a little bit. Now this is probably going to be high enough, and we kind of just slowly descend. It's a fun time. Finally, there we go. That is 30 seconds. We can take that off, put on our wings, and now there's going to be people that are hugging trees, and we have to take them off the trees because they're stopping them from growing for some reason. I don't know. This game's weird. Anyways, we're going through. We got some more trophies to collect. There is that one. There's this one over by this tree, and then we're coming over towards the left. There's going to be a couple people over by their campsite, and with that, there's going to be another trophy. And then over here, there's going to be this trophy just in that house thing, and this trophy on top of this tower. Before now, it's time to go into the middle of the ocean area because there's a very small trophy that's really easy to miss just straight out there. So glad I was able to find that one as fast as I did. Now back in the Hoover Dam, we want to head up to this spot because there is going to be this trophy. We can go over by here. There's going to be another egg. This one actually gets an egg out there and gives us this nice turtle shell. And now we want to head up this entire tower. Thankfully, we already have a good amount of height, and we can use that to then get to those fans, make our way all the way up this thing where, of course, there is going to be that trophy. Then down over here, there's going to be a couple more of these dudes. So I want to hit both of them. That's going to give us one of those instincts done. And then after that, we can come over to this cave and go through it, which pops us out at the other side, which puts us at the bottom of the mountain. And there's going to be a trinket there. Now, one cool little tech I haven't mentioned, by the way, is when you're going up mountains, what you can do if you have this speed is just spam the jump button, and that allows you to go up the mountain like that, which is really fun. So we'll do that, and we're kind of just climbing up this entire thing. Now over by here, there is going to be one of these birthday gifts. That's going to give us this security outfit. I'll take it before we then go up. And oh, okay, I kind of forgot to put back on the right head. My bad. But anyways, from there, there's going to be this trophy with these people up here, and then there's going to be that UFO that we unfroze earlier in the speedrun. So what we want to do is just hit it. That's going to release a bunch of green goo all throughout the map, but that stuff doesn't really matter too much. And it's also going to give us this thing, which this gives us the power to make somebody incredibly smart. So we're going to use this on this goat that's just sitting here and make his head super big. Yeah, we just keep going with the Brainiac, and yeah, not too much to say. His head just keeps getting bigger and bigger until finally we made the goat's head super huge. Then I want to grab the background checker and also get Helium Havoc, and we're going to put a bunch of helium in this guy, as well as check his information, which the helium not working right now, okay, but we did check his information. That's one of the instincts, and then we just have to aim this. For some reason, it's not working. Goat, can you please get hit by this helium? Okay, there we go. We have to hit him a couple of times and actually make him float. Now, if we head over into this direction, there's also going to be these people, which, okay, what am I supposed to get? Oh, it's down here because we didn't save it. Okay, I was confused. All right, we get back our Brainiac, and we also have to make a human's head really big. So we just do pretty much the same thing, though thankfully you don't have to do it as big as the goat's head. So it only takes a little bit of time. We can get rid of that, get back on our regular stuff, hit this guy off a mountain because I don't like him, and then time to go over to that hot air balloon. Within here, there's gonna be that trophy. Don't mind if I steal it from you guys. We can head over to this cave where there's going to be this trophy, which I just completely missed, but we get it the second time. And over here, there's also going to be one more trophy on this tree stub, so I'll take that too. And oh my gosh, that's a gigantic goat head. Yeah, also, so what happens is how this game spawns in people, it reuses the same people. So if you make their head big for one person, it makes it big for another. I don't know exactly how it works, but yeah, it just sometimes we're gonna see people with big heads now. It's just part of our lives. Anyways, time to go up this sawmill and just climb up this area. There's that guy doing his job, or probably just looking like he's doing his job. I don't trust he's actually working. But we come up to this thing, and from here, there is going to be the hipster beard. Before we then exit the sawmill for now, so we can work on a couple of things, like another one of these guys who's hugging this tree, so we take care of him. We got to help the trees grow. And we'll go up here. There is going to be this trophy first, before we then want to use a couple of fireworks, make our way over to this trophy, and then go back in this direction, because then down here there's going to be one more trophy. And for our final one in the Hoover Dam, it's going to be straight over to that spot before we head into this ancient, like, grounds. I don't know. It's this very interesting place where there's a lot going on. All we want to worry about, though, is going over here, getting this shark fin, and we're going to look sick with that. And then we can just go exit the same way we came in. And now time to finish out the lumber mill, which for this, there's only a couple things we got to do. First of all, we come over here. We're going to get this trinket. And then we have to electrify a couple of people because right now this machine isn't working. But what we can do is we can use people to make it work. You know, you got to do what you got to do in this world. And sometimes that includes doing that. Anyways, that is all for this area. Now we just got to finish out the forest as well, which there's going to be this trophy over here. And then there's also going to be another person hugging the tree. So we'll take care of them. Then we can head up here where there's just this person camping, enjoying their life. But unfortunately, they have big feet. And the people looking for Bigfoot do not care if it's actual Bigfoot. So we can put this person in the cage. And sorry about that, buddy. But hey, also not my problem. I got stuff to do, like taking that trophy there, heading down here. There's another person hugging a tree. Take care of them. Then come up here. There's yet another person hugging a tree. Take care of them too. That gives us this nice hat, but we'll get rid of that for now. Come over to here, and there is going to be a trophy by these bathrooms that I can take really quick. Now for the final bit in this little area, we're gonna head over to this guy over by the river. Then we can head upwards, and there is going to be this trophy on top of this bird watching tower. And now it's time for bird watching. So all we have to do for this is head up here and start viewing, but you gotta wait for bird watching. Huh? Wait, the container just fell on me and stopped me from looking at birds for a sec. That is so annoying. The container we put up in the air so long, it's still coming down every once in a while, and it just completely destroyed me. Whatever. Finally, we get a bird to show up. It hits us, and yeah, we saw a bird. Something to be happy about. Then for the final trophy of the forest area, we head over here. That's going to be this one. And then there's also going to be a trophy over there. Also, what are my feet right now? Those are kind of terrifying. I'm actually just going to take those off right now. Anyways, time for the next place, which is going to be this town. And we are going to absolutely ruin this town. Very unlucky for these people, but it is what it is. We head into this store first, and we want to go into the back of this building, which then puts us over by the top. There's a couple people just enjoying their lives, you know, sitting, dangling from the edge. That's kind of terrifying. Not sure why they're doing that, but time to ruin a couple of people's days. This person's literally skipping. That's how much they're enjoying their day. But I decide we're gonna put them on this statue. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You kind of gotta feel bad for those people, but it is what it is. Next up, I can grab this, and I'm actually realizing I forgot to do something really quick, but we can fix that as easily as possible by just going over to this tower. We gotta go to this tower anyways. And of course, we'll synchronize with it really quick. Now, what we want to do is head into this tower, and we're gonna get a bunch of these goat rewards that we've been saving up. Yeah, not too much to say about this part. It unlocks a chain. And first one, we get an even bigger castle, so that's pretty cool. Second one gives us this room, which basically shows you a bunch of the secret areas that you can get throughout this game, but since we're speedrunning, we already know where those are. This one's gonna give us a gigantic throne, which we'll be going to in a sec. Oh, also, my goat that's DJing for me has the big head. That's kind of hilarious. But anyways, while this is going on, I also do want to make it to my throne. Or wait, is there one more? There is. Oh wait, or no, that was the right one. Whatever. So that's all the rewards for now, so we can start heading up here. Don't mind this gigantic goat, and we can make it to our throne. That way we get the goat queen. Of course, we will want to save that for later, then head over to the right where there's this big tentacle for some reason, and we can also take the VR headset, which is also something we want to save for later. But now we can exit out of our castle. Now we're gonna head back to the same place we were before, over by this water park. And the reason why it was important to get that goat queen thing was now what I can do is I can put it on and we can spam a bunch of goats, and we can get the instinct for putting 10 people in the water having a pool party, because goats do count as people for this game. So yeah, just very convenient to actually have goat queen for that. Then I want to go through here, hit that person off, and jump from the highest diving board. After that, we can go over towards this slide. There's going to be this trophy in there, and then also there's going to be another trophy just in this water that I can take before going to our next egg. This dude's just going to be sitting over here. A bunch of green goo comes out of it, so we do have to wait out the green goo for a second, but finally we do get that. Then there's going to be this pool, and within the pool there's going to be this hat first, and then there's also going to be this dude. Take both of those. Now we'll actually go into the house, and this is a frat house, so of course they're playing beer pong. We steal their frat desk. It's just what you gotta do. And then we can come up here on top of their house where there is gonna be this trophy, and then we come over to here, where within here there's a fun spot. We have to get 5 people on this bounce house, so yet again we can just use the goat queen thing to just get those people right away. It makes it so much easier. But now, before we do anything else, we do have to go, and I'm looking for a police officer somewhere. We need one that's out of their car. I mean, maybe I can get them out of their car if I hit it. Oh, there we go. All right, so we're gonna get this guy, bring this person over to the frat house, and it's time to start a fire. There's this person that's just having a good time, and we want to get this police officer on fire. We bring them over to the frat house, and we start getting the entire house on fire too, because that's going to bring over the fire truck. So while that goes on, I'll put on my fashionista. And guys, you trying to park at some point? People are literally burning. Hurry up. Okay, they finally get out. We can get them to spray us with this water, and also the police guy. And why didn't that count? Okay, there's supposed to get an achievement when you spray a police dude with that. Maybe I got it and just did it. Why did he just push that other dude? What are you doing? Dude, I don't know what's going on. Okay, we're gonna put an outfit on that guy regardless, and also put an outfit on the police officer. Maybe we already got the instinct, and I don't know. Whatever, if I have to get the instinct again, I'll do it later. For now, we hop in that. That's just gonna be another achievement. Put on our regular stuff, and head over through here where we wanna go towards this bunker. There's some person who's really concerned about the end of the world, so what we gotta do is we gotta give them 3 things. And yeah, we can just enjoy this. Of course, there is going to be the toilet paper feat, because, you know, they got to save their toilet paper. And now after that, we head over here. There is going to be this trophy in that house. Then we come over to this pink house, which these are some people that really love goats. So we can get a goat head for our goat. Yeah, not sure why these people have so many goats. It's a little bit weird. But anyways, we're going to take one of these people with us because we got to take them for a party. So I'll bring this guy with us. He's green and kind of bouncing all over the place, but that's fine because not enough people came to Philip's birthday party, and we gotta help that. So I'm just gonna take a couple of people, bring them over to this party. There's some stuff. Hopefully this counts, because there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Anyways, this is our last person. Buddy, get in there. Get in. Enjoy this party with your friends. Okay, happy birthday, Philip. You're having a great time. Now, I also really quick want to look for a post office worker if I can find one. Okay, there's this guy. So that is perfect. What we can do is bring this guy over, and if we put him right there, by the time he actually gets up and hopefully doesn't get hit by something random. Hey, buddy, I told you to put the mail down. All right, this guy's acting a little different than usual. Whatever, we can just follow him for a second. Eventually, he puts mail down. Okay, I guess it would have worked anyways. And we want to hit him with the mail, because you want to hit a post office worker with his own mail. And there we go. Come through here. There's going to be some person's bedroom with a goat trophy on it. That's their fault for having it. They know I'm coming for them. They can't blame me for taking them. And another present, so I will take that. It gives us a really cool frog hat, so that's pretty nice. But now time for our next 5G tower we got to get. So first of all, we'll come over here, take this trinket, and we're going to do these towers just like usual. Oh my gosh, big head person, get out of here. So we got to go use this electricity on all of these guys. That is going to be second. Then third, we go over there. That turns on the power for all that. You already know how it goes. And there will also be a trophy in this area. We just got to go down there, take this guy really quick before heading up this place, because we do have to go to the highest point of Suburbsville, so that's what we're gonna do right now. Just climbing up some ladders, making our way up, and finally that's gonna be the point. Get that really quick, and then we'll go all the way over to this island off the side of this place. There's going to be another trophy through all this trash, and back over to this yoga studio where it is time to do some yoga. Well, at least after we destroy this egg. That's gonna give us the Flappy Bird stuff, so we will take that. And I'm actually gonna respawn really quick so we stop getting attacked by those crates, or at least I hope it'll make us stop getting attacked by them. And now it's time to put on the VR headset. So this is really annoying, but you do have to have it on for 5 minutes, but we can use this to do it as the same time as we're doing the yoga mission. And another nice thing is while we're doing both of those, we can also start buying all this stuff, which is another thing we have to do for 100%. We have to buy everything in the store. So yeah, the yoga mission takes like 4 minutes. The VR thing we have to do for 5 minutes, and we have to buy this stuff, which takes a few minutes. Might as well do these all at the same time. And look, we can become like a giraffe or a shark. It's pretty fun. The only thing we don't want to buy is the head stuff. Oh, no. Wait, I don't know if that counted as taking off my VR headset. Hopefully it didn't. Whatever. Anyways, as I was saying, only thing we don't want to buy is the head stuff so we don't take off our VR headset. But anything else, we can just buy really quick. Okay, it looks like we got the VR one before we got... Okay, so usually that happens in the opposite way, but it looks like we got both of them. I'm just going to make sure really quick. Okay, yeah, play in VR for 5 minutes. I'll take it. Anyways, that was a lot of unlocking stuff, and now we're finally good with that. So time to go back to actually playing the game. It is a nice break, and those things are still going after me. When will they stop? Well, actually, probably really soon, because we're about to quit to the title screen. That way we can do something specific. But for now, I want to jump into here, grab that guy, then go on top of this ballerina place where there's going to be another trophy. And then we want to come up to these ballerinas and spin them a bunch because, you know, that's a really fun time. And then we cause a tornado. So that's something. But hey, not my problem. We'll just make them really quick. And then as we're going through, I do want to go to the title screen. Then once we spawn back in, hopefully it gave me a good spawn point. Yeah, I'll take it. And the reason we did that is because we don't want to slowly fall back from the sky. But now what we can do is we can do some moving help, which how this works is you just have to keep bringing these moving boxes over here. And there are a lot of moving boxes. So the joke behind this is there are a couple that are nice and close. Like there are these ones that are pretty easy to get. But then there are ones that are farther, like these ones. And the moving boxes only get farther and farther away. So normally this would take so much time to get every single one of these boxes. But thankfully, we have a plan to make this a little bit faster because what we can do is we can just get the ones that are pretty close before we come over here and we go to the title screen. Then once we spawn back in, the moving boxes are back where they were before and no longer in the garage, but the game still thinks they are in there, so we can just keep putting the same moving boxes in the garage over and over instead of having to get different ones, which would just take so much time. So yeah, I just gotta repeat this for a while. And finally, after putting a bunch of boxes in that garage, we get moving help. Thanks, here's some pizza. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it actually does give us pizza. It gives us these pizza boxes, which are something we actually will want to use later. So another thing we'll favorite for now. But that is pretty good. Didn't take that long, thankfully. It could have taken a lot longer. But now we want to come into this house, talk to the therapist. And because therapists are called shrinks, that is what happens there. His whole house shrinks. Unlucky. But we'll head into this empty pool. There's going to be this guy. We'll head up through here over towards these slide things. That's always how I remember how to go. And within this house, this little like doggy door, we can get that. Then there's this guy who's trying to sell a house right now, but I'm not too interested in that. Instead, all I'm interested in is hitting that button. And then the developers of this game put like 6 trophies behind this door for some reason. And I think it's just because they wanted to reach the number of 200, but didn't have enough other places to. So they were like, yeah, let's just put them here. So that's kind of funny. But now we're heading through here into the sewers because we have to go find the secret of the sewers. And the secret is pretty simple. All we do is go through here. We see this clown guy who's just sitting there. So yeah, what we're going to want to do is come over here and it's time to put on the tickler. So we're going to go hit this guy into a corner multiple times. And as you hit him, more of these clowns are going to spawn. So I'm just going to keep doing this over and over again. And there should be a couple more clown guys. Okay, not enough spawn there. Here we go. We just want to keep making these people. Finally, it works. We explode 10 people and then we use the tickler to one-shot all 10 of those people at the same time. That took a little bit of time, but it is what it is. And now we head back throughout the sewer because that's all we need to do. And from here, there is going to be this trophy straight over to this spot, which I will take. And now it's time for an interesting part where we see our friendly new neighbors, but they're not actually friendly because what they do is shoot lasers at you. So, you know, it's a world where you got to kill them before they're able to kill you. And within that house, we get this face, which is interesting, but I'm just going to take it off. Sorry, Nancy. Anyways, from there now, what we want to do is head over to this other crack, which is going to be the crack in time. So we hit it a couple of times. It opens up a portal. And if we go in it, it turns us into whoever this guy is, an NPC. So we can go with him, just launch up here. And now it is time to hit the big red button. So that's what we're going to do with this guy. Just hit it a couple of times. And you can see what happens is, yeah, an explosion. There's a big rocket that comes down straight over towards that port tree. But it doesn't explode just yet. That's what we're here for. So it's gonna be armed, and we're gonna be heading over there while this cutscene is going on. And what we can do is go up next to it and hit it. Not gonna show you the explosion screen because it gets really white and I don't want to flashbang people, but yeah, it just goes all white. There's an explosion, and that is very unlucky for them. So next up, what we want to do is head over towards this house, and there's a bunch of IKEA stuff that we have to help this guy make. So we just destroy a box, we bring it over here, and we're just making a portal. There's also some stuff that is going to be in the garage that we can take as well. And yeah, just find the stuff, put it all together. Finally, once we get to the last thing that finishes the portal, we can go through it, and then we're over here. We teleported. And there's just gonna be a couple of things. There's going to be a thing of clothing we can get first, which I will take. And then up here, there's also going to be that trophy, so get both of them. Exit out right away, get rid of this stuff, put back on our bat wings. And then up here is normally where I would have gotten the tower if I didn't kind of mess up, but hey, we'll just take it now. And now what we want to do really quick before I forget, because I have forgotten this one sometimes, is take this trophy up by here. That's going to be for the cemetery, which we will be coming to later, but we still just have a couple more things we have to do in this area, including stealing from ATMs. So what you have to do here is get a bunch of free money by hitting these ATMs over and over again, and we have to do this for $500. So at least we're able to do 2 at a time, but yeah, another very long time wasty part. This game kind of likes those. By the way, while we're destroying all this money, one thing I do want to say is please remember that you're loved. It is better for you to be on this earth, and please just keep hanging on. I promise it will get better at some point. You got this. Finally though, we get all 500 of those dollars. People are trying to attack me because they saw me beat up an ATM. They're kind of mean, but we'll come over to here. We're gonna get a beautiful dress for our goat, and then we come straight over to this part where there is going to be this trophy. We can come out the other part, and there's going to be this pizza hat. Of course, we'll take that too. Now we can go over towards the bowling alley, which we want to get rid of that pin, unlock that, get some bowling shoes. Those are going to look great on us, and go on top of the bowling alley, where up here, there's going to be another egg. Yeah, that is going to be the eggshells. Don't want to keep those on your feet because they're kind of annoying. They turn you into an egg as soon as you start moving. Not really what we want. But that is pretty much everything for that area, except for this very last one, which is going to be by the statue. We can just grab that on top of the log, and then we want to go on top of this guy's head, go into emotes, and graze, because that's going to be taking a bite out of the lumberjack's hat. Now with the lumberjack, we just got to go grab these boots, and yeah, that's pretty much that entire area done. So from here, time to head up this crane, which kind of just going how you normally would, climbing, using some jumps, all that kind of stuff. And finally at the top, that is going to be the highest place. From there, there's going to be a couple of things we got to collect in this area. There's going to be this hard hat first, then there's going to be this trophy, and now we have to put a couple of workers in the cement mixer. So we grab somebody with our tongue, of course, just like usual, and we put them in the cement mixer, and we have to do this with 3 different people. So they kind of have a fun roller coaster ride where they get swung around in circles and then get hit out of it. They're having a great time. Don't mind what just happened to that person's body. That was strange. But yeah, I'm sure they're loving it. I don't hear them complaining or anything. So we can take those guys. We head down through here into this cave. There's going to be that trinket. Then over by the start of this area, if we can just head up these places, there's going to be that one. So that's 3 out of 6 done. From there, we can go over to this bus stop. We can grab that dude, head back into this general area where there's going to be a hole in the ground, and all the way at the bottom, of course, just another trinket. And then finally, for our last thing in this little area, we just have to come behind these boxes, grab that. That's 6 out of 6 done. Time to go get another party present. Same old with these types of things. We just hit it multiple times, get a very nice jacket and a very nice hat. And over here on this other island, there's just gonna be this trophy. I will take that too. Now it's time to go into Fair Meadows Ranch. So first thing we want to do in this ranch area is there is going to be this guy, this little trophy. If I can actually get it, I'm kind of going all over the place besides that part. Then over here, there is going to be this tinfoil hat we can grab, go into the secondhand store and just steal stuff. They say we should probably pay whatever we think we should pay for it, and I think we should pay nothing. Oh, but then this guy, one of the mannequins, comes by, but thankfully we have the tickler, and we're also going to use it on a grandma that's in there. The grandma, of course, would have tried to hit us, and I'm not trying to have that. You know, in this world, you just got to do what you got to do, even if it's it's against the poor defenseless grandma. Actually, she's not defenseless at all. But now we're gonna grab a couple of these scarecrows. So, oh, that guy didn't come with me. But we just grab this dude and we bring him over towards this circle. And Scarecrow, they go combine together and become living. I don't even know, man. But all we have to do is dance with them because we have to get them to dance back at us. So that's fun. And so pretty good for there. Now we're coming through this part, getting that guy, going through here on this part by all these chickens. There's going to be another trophy, and then there's going to be a big chicken. So what you want to do is get eaten by this guy. We got to go in his food bowl. He just eats us and then turns us into a chicken. So that's life. Now we want to turn around and go over to the Pimpin' Ride. We're straight over here. There's going to be that trophy. There's going to be this guy, which this is another thing, the ricer that I want to keep. But we got to make a beautiful car. And what we're going to do for this is just grab a couple of things. So I'll just go one by one. And that is a very nice car, if I do say so myself. Then we can head up here and we will be coming back to the farm in a second. But for now, it's time to go to the cemetery. Well, after, of course, we get this trophy up here. And yeah, cemetery time. Which this place, it gets all gloomy and stuff. And now there's going to be whack-a-mole, where there's this guy who comes through these holes and we have to whack him. What an interesting game this is. I know I've already said that, but you know. Finally, after hitting him a couple of times, that gives us our mission. And now we can head on top of this church building. And up here, we have to play a song. That opens up a building. We're going up to the top of here where, of course, there is going to be another statue, and we also reach the highest point. And now what we want to do is go into one of these graves and act like we're dead. So we'll just go ragdoll in there, and that gives us another thing. Following that, we got to go pay our respects. So we just come up to some graves, and we're like, hey, we're just being a good guy. I don't know these people, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. So we come up to each of these graves, and by paying respects, then that's going to open up that main building, and we're also going to get the holy book. So with this, what we can do, we can destroy these graves and then use the holy book on them to send them to heaven. So yeah, we'll just do that with 5 of these ghosts. We're a great goat, what can I say? And we'll also take one of these people, and we got to go and get this guy working out, because then in the middle of here, there's a gym for some reason. So yeah, we're just going through, and we got to put people on these treadmills. Unfortunately, these are people that are like sad about their relatives dying, so very sad for them, but I gotta do what I gotta do. And with all 4 of them, they're now running, and we get this car out. We're not ever gonna use that car, but we do get it if we did want it. So now we want to jump up here, grab this statue. That's gonna be 4 out of 4. Grab the pride saber, and then head up this mountain, because now it's time to head over to the factory. To start in this area, there's gonna be this bouncy area. We can jump off of that, and there's finally going to be our very last egg, which causes the screen to go crazy. And we also get Bug Bunny, who, you know, definitely doesn't reference anything else. Anyways, with this factory, you already know the drill. More trophies, more things to collect. And we will be going and finishing the egg mission in a little bit, but for now, we got more stuff to do. So up here, there is going to be that trophy. Then we can go all the way up this tower area, which, yeah, just a couple of these dudes. Just keep it going up. You already know the drill until we make it up there. Now, with this top of this tower, that's going to be the highest point, and we're also going to get a jetpack that we won't use. But we can go down to this tower, and there's a main mission that we have to do. So what we want to do is bring these conveyor belts and put them in the factory. So with this first one, it's kind of stuck. Come on, conveyor belt. Get through there. You got this, buddy. Okay, there we go. We put it in that spot, and we just have to do this with a bunch of different conveyor belts so they reach the end. There's also a couple more things we can do, like hit this red button. That's going to open up this door, and there's also going to be a trophy up here I can take before hitting that button too. And yeah, we're just looking around for conveyor belts pretty much. And finally, with all of those guys in there, now some banana stuff happens. And what this is doing is this is turning these poor people into banana people. And we can also become a banana person, which is definitely interesting. Anyways, what banana people do, their life goal is to make more banana people. So what I want to do is get a bunch of people in one area. And, oh, I accidentally still have that on. Okay, take off the Daredevil helmet, doing its thing. Maybe we can get these 3 people. All right, guys, I need you to become banana. Why are you just in a corner like that? We'll try to get 4 just to make it a little bit more consistent, or even 5 is better. So we'll get 5 people all in that corner. We can back up, we can charge up our banana beam. And there we go. We got him. Every day I play this game, I'm like, what am I playing? But I don't know. Anyways, time to make it up this entire factory, up this tower. And we can just go through the top of this tower, which puts us at all of this service room. And there's going to be a bunch of computers around here that we got to destroy. So I just go through one after the other, headbutting these guys. And finally, once we destroy enough of them, that causes this whole area to explode with banana juice. And yeah, that's something. So only a few more things we have to get in this factory. First of all, there's going to be this trophy. Then I can start coming up here. We can grab this guy as well. And then we want to go up this mountain where there's going to be this guy. We got to lick him really quick. Grab all that. And now it's time to leave the factory. Go over into this direction. There's going to be this convenient place with this circle area. So I know exactly where to go to get that trophy first. Then there's going to be this other one also by the water, and one more by the water into this spot where there's also all of this fish, so I will take that one too. Then we can come back over towards the right where there's going to be this tube. We jump up a couple of times, grab that guy super quick, and we can launch ourselves with this air so we get enough speed to come straight over here, grab that dude, and there's going to be another one of these birthday presents, which for this one, you already know the drill. Just hit it a couple of times, get a hot dog costume. But now what we want to do is head below this bridge, and we want to get in here if the game actually wants to allow me. But that's because there is going to be that trophy. Don't mind if I do. Before, we have to do some mountain climbing, and over by the top, there's going to be this hot spring. So we take that trophy. That's going to be everything in Pointy Factory. And now what we have to do is find the fish Steve. So I'm going to be looking through these. We can see at the bottom what the fish's names are, and we're just looking for Steve. We bring him out of the water, and then we become Steve. So that's a thing. Now we will want to stay as Steve for a little bit, so I'm just going to be taking him with me. We can take him to that spot, get that trophy really quick, and then over by one of these jumps that we came to earlier, we can also grab this. So I can grab that. That was actually pretty good. Then back over into this direction, there is going to be one more by these massage rooms. So pretty good. And now it's time to finish out this whole farm area, because that's pretty much where all the rest of our trophies that we need to get are. And we can take this. That's going to be a toilet seat. Whatever. And we'll also want to get rid of Steve, unfortunately. Back to the goat. Don't worry, you will see Steve again. Everybody loves him. It is what it is, though. We got to do what we got to do. But over here, it's time for Grandma again. So you already know we got to take her out. And we're also going to steal her trophy. That's straight over there by the chicken coop. That's also going to open up this cellar. And in the cellar, there's some interesting stuff. So we want to go through here, and then it becomes this like really low res area with some more grandmas. So now I know exactly where we need to go for, there's going to be one trophy and one outfit we have to get. So I will take this trophy first, grab that, go through a couple of these grandmas, try my best not to get hit by the grandmas because they are super annoying. But over at the end, there is going to be this chair. Oh my gosh, Grandma, stop. I'm just trying to grab the chair. I want to be one of you guys. Yeah, we get her as something on our back now, and finally we make it out. That is such a part. Okay, but we got Grandma. We will be taking her off us, but definitely something that happens. Anyways, time to head over here where there is going to be a little concert that's happening. Unfortunately, I do come to crash it, and I take their trinket. Oh, okay. I was looking around for a second, just flying, like, what am I supposed to do now? Because I completely blanked. But no, we want to get that guy. Then we want to come over here, buy our very first tower, by the way. Grab that too. And then there's going to be a couple of these plants that we have to grow. So I am going to take this fertilizer. I can put it on all of this stuff. And with all of those, that is good. And now we can just bah a couple of times, and we just want to keep getting raised up into the air. Yeah, we'll just keep going with this, and eventually there is going to be a trophy, which is right there. I can head back down to actually get that. Before now, it's time to do some planting, because we can come down to this spot, we can switch our helmet, or I guess it's actually the back thing, and we're gonna get Gardener. We'll also turn off Daredevil, and now we want to plant 15 of these beans all right by each other. There's also this farmer guy. Excuse me, dude. I'm kind of trying to do my thing. And after we grow all those, then we just have to bah 15 times, because we have to make 15 magic plants grow 15 times each. And yeah, this is just a very easy way of doing it by getting all of them to go up at the same time. So we do all that. Nice and easy. Switch back to our bat wings, put back on our helmet, And now we're going to come down into this spot where there's going to be this tiny house we can go in. And within this house, there's going to be the ring, which we're going to use a little bit later. For right now, we want to head back up into this direction. And over here, there are going to be a bunch of these RVs on top of each other. And up here, there's going to be that. But it's time for some backyard science. And how science works is you just got to put oil on it. So we got to put oil on that area, which I don't think it actually worked. Okay, there's our oil. And now we go to the other side of this thing. We put some other oil on it. And yeah, that's pretty much all you got to do. Then that's going to make this machine work. And it's going to be able to shrink us. So yeah, we could just get smaller. And we do want to do it a second time as well, so we get an instinct. And with that, now what we can do is respawn. That way we become bigger again, because otherwise we would have just stayed small and it would have been very annoying. So we will grab that trinket, come up through here, and there's gonna be this barn over here. This is supposed to be like one of the very first missions you do, which is kind of funny that we saved it for so long. But what we have to do with that is first we take down that tractor, that way they can harvest, and then we're also gonna get that trophy and also the straw hat so we can become king of the pirates. Then from there, there's another smaller barn straight over here. We can grab this guy, and now it's just about me remembering exactly where to go. This is the part that confuses me the most out of the run, because it's so much later that I have less practice with it. But we want to put a bunch of these explosives in the water, just one after the other, and we're hoping we explode an explosive with another explosive, because that's also important. But we can grab that. That's going to be the mermaid comb, and oh, I actually wanted that for later. I'll make sure I save that, but then switch back to Daredevil. Now we want to go all the way up there and finally get our very last birthday present. So this is just going to be this guy. We hit it a couple of times and we get the cute plushie Pilgor, so that's fun. From here we can make our way over towards this other tower where there's going to be that trophy, and then within this spot there's going to be a saddle. And with this thing, it's very strange. What you can do is you can make this goat go on top of you. I always forget what button it is. Get on me, dude. Okay. And we want to do a backflip with him. And yeah, do a trick while a goat is riding you. Then from there, we come back over into this direction. And there should be 2 more trophies somewhere, if I remember where they are. Oh yeah, there's gonna be this one that's straight over here first of all, and then there's one more that is over in this direction. Okay, thankfully I actually got them. After that, we can come into this place and we can lick this apple, take it off the tree if it actually wants to get taken off. And yeah, we get electrocuted because of that, but we can just restart, because otherwise you would just constantly be getting electrocuted. But now at this point, what we want to do is find the trash men's secret, which the secret is they hide in trash bins. I don't even know. And we'll also go take that trophy. Then with our wings, we can get pizza delivery by giving a pizza to a pizza delivery man. Before then, we're coming over into this section where there's going to be a trophy up here. And this is also going to be the highest part of the map. Just pretty simple stuff going our way up. Then we can start going back down. We want to grab this electricity, get that guy first, get this dude, and then finally go over here. And that's going to be our very last 5G tower. And because of that, it causes a huge ray to come out, and then a bunch of aliens come over here. So that's fun. But only a few more of these trophies and things we got to get. There is going to be one over here where there's these people. We got to give them an eviction notice. And, you know, I don't know if we exactly go on it the most legal way in the world, where we just kind of take it, use our truck, and then move the entire house. So that's a thing. Also, before I forget, this is another one I forgot to before. There's going to be a trophy right there. Just going to grab it. But back over where the house was, there is going to be this dude. I will take that. And then over by these things, if we keep going forward, there is this guy. We can go up to the top of these towers. That's going to have this thing. And then there's a bunch of people trying to get this gum in the tower. And I say no, I want to take it out. So we just completely destroy that tower. Unlucky for them, but I got stuff to do. And that includes destroying all these boxes, because we have to get in this bathroom and we have to find the key. And the key's always going to be in the last box you check. So we have to destroy every single one of them. Hey, get out of my way. So finally, after we get those, there is going to be the key. So we can go get inside of here. Yeah, that happens. But we're just going to go and take this plunger. After that, what we can do is head over to this spot. And oh, I actually got rid of it a second ago. I forgot we need it one more time. We need Goat Queen. And we're going to spawn a bunch of these goats, because what we're trying to do is cause a chain reaction of electricity. So does that work? I mean, that's kind of a chain reaction, but I think it needs to be smaller. and it's kind of big right now. This is kind of awkward. It just keeps going. Okay, we'll let our goats go away. All right, we'll have them at a little bit of a better spot. We get electrocuted. We bring it over to one of these goats, and then that goat is going to electrocute another goat, which... Okay, not enough. Get off me, police guy. I'm trying to make goats. This time for sure. So, oh my gosh. Okay, just cause a chain reaction, please. Wait, this might have worked. Oh my gosh, what is going on? I'm just trying to electrocute some people. Please, game. Let me get out of this. And now we're bouncing. Okay, so we're electric right now. We use that. We hopefully get them to create a chain. Thank you. Thank you for giving it to me after everything got destroyed. All right, well... That's something that definitely just happened. Anyways, time to find a car. This car will work. This one that's kind of on fire right now. We got to bring it over through all this destruction. And we got to put it in this spot and honk really quick. And this is going to be another one of those secret things where if we go in here, we get a special spray paint. So these things go all around, make us look like a really cool car. And yeah, you got to say our goat is looking amazing. Anyways, after that, next thing I actually want to do is come over here because it's time for the bike mission. Now for this one, you want to stay on a bike for 30 seconds. And the way to do that is just kind of let it happen. Yeah, you kind of just go back and forth. I'm not trying to speed it up. Biking in this game is just awful. It is very, I don't think they wanted it to be a good biking experience. So I kind of just go back and forth and we just wait out the 30 seconds. There we go. That's going to be that. Oh, and we didn't get the firefighter police officer. Okay, we can get that in a sec. For now, what we want to do, make that jump. How did that knock out? I'm just trying to position this bike right now. It's so annoying. Okay, here we go. Just please count, game. This time for sure. This is going to be the jump. Yes. Okay, that took way too long. Anyways, we can also come up through here. There's going to be that. And that's going to be every single trophy in the game, you know, because you got the gift. And you know, while we're here, we might as well cause a fireman to go on fire. Here you go, buddy. We just got to put this guy on fire. Hopefully find some ambulance people. Where are they? Ambulance people? You here? All right, whatever. We'll worry about doing that in a sec. For now, what we can do is actually bring this guy with us, and we're heading to the zoo. Because I do have to lick somebody for 1 minute, so might as well do it now. Now, while we're at this zoo, we do have a couple things we want. First of all, we want to go by the ark really quick, and we can spawn a bunch of animals. I should also take this off, but there's also the lick someone for 1 minute. But yeah, we want to spawn a bunch of animals, fill the zoo with much more people. Then once that's done, we can go ahead and put on these trainers. And what these will do is it causes a bunch of people to work out. So if we use this, they get down and they do some push-ups, or at least they're supposed to. I mean, it counted, but where are they? I think everyone's just too confused. Whatever, it counts. Now, next up, we can go ahead, get the holy book, and we're sending 50 people to heaven. All you got to do is go up to them and be like, hey, yeah, have fun. Then after we get 50, we can go to our next thing. That's going to be the mermaid comb, where we want to slap people with fish a bunch of times. Yep, this is literally the whole thing. We just go up to people and we're like, hey, have a fish. And with all of those people slapped, that's that one. So now what we can do is actually I want to head to the map, and we're going to go back in the middle of here. Can I please find a single police person? There are none of them. I literally cannot find a single person who's a police officer. Where are they? Okay, I guess we'll come back to that later and hope we get lucky. Oh my gosh, game. Whatever. For now, we want to head over to the dam back here, and we actually want to put on the Steve suit, because what we're going to do is we're going to take people's glasses, and we have to balance 5 objects on these posts. So easiest way to do that is with the fish, because then it's just much easier to actually get this to balance. I put it right there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you put it right there, it stays, and yeah, we just do this 5 times. And finally, with number 5, that is good for that. Now we have to jump off the dam with Steve. So I do. Jump off there really quick. He gets the achievement, and then we can go back up. And now for a couple more things we want to do, we'll get rid of Steve. We'll put on the firework launcher. So we want to get back up here. We want to take that off, and we want to launch 3 people in a row with fireworks. And once we do that, that's there. Then we can get the Private Brian thing, and we can also put on this thing. And we want to go up to this guy, and we want to get him to hug us. So, oh, that's not a hug. Wait, I think it did hug. It counted. Whatever. And we also want to get one person to hit another person, so I can like be like, hey, go hit that guy. Go, buddy. Hit Hit him. Yeah, go fight. Okay, I didn't say hug. All right, we just got to get somebody to fight somebody else. Fight. There we go. Finally was able to get that. Whatever. Now we can go back up to the top of the mountain, where from here we want to head back over towards this volcano area and go in here because it's time for the ring mission and to finish that out. Except I cannot for the life of me find where the ring is. Oh, here it is. Okay, found it eventually. And we'll take this guy with us because, you know, we might as well go together. And as soon as we make it in there, we can switch back to our regular stuff and just kind of go through this whole building. So that is that. That's going to be that journey. Switch back. And now it's time to finish out the egg thing, which will just fly over towards this mountain. We can take that. And while this is going on, this is also the perfect chance to check we have everything. Oh gosh, what Go Gear pickup are we missing here? Because we're about to get one, but it looks like everything else is good. Hopefully I can figure that out. We got one Go Gear pickup that we need to do. Oh, also while this is going on, we might as well buy some stuff now that I think about it. But finally, after a while, we can go up here, get that back, go to this spot and bathe in this yolk, which makes us into an ostrich. So that's fun. But now where is this Go Gear? I actually could not tell you. I just looked through all of them and I guess this is as good a time as any. Just go and unlock every single one of them and we can see what we're missing. I legit could not tell you what I'm missing right now. Like I'm looking through all of them and I cannot find it. Okay, we finally found a cop at least. Hopefully we can actually get them to get extinguished this time. We're gonna bring them around. We're gonna burn this building. Come on, fire truck. Hurry up. You gotta save this dude. Guys, stop being so confused on how to drive your car. Okay, please extinguish your boy. Why is it not working? This game is literally just breaking. I don't know what to tell you. Wait, did it get got? Okay, finally. Thank you. Whatever, we might as well head over here, use our racer, and we gotta go change out these bikes. And what you wanna do is you wanna do 3 of them, go back to the title screen and repeat. Okay, there's gonna be the bikes. That's all of that. What am I missing? I'm literally looking at like a list of all the things and it looks like I have them. I think there's a chance the game is just broken. I don't know. We're just gonna finish the run and figure it out. But while this final cutscene is happening here, let's also go through. We can just check all of the stuff, make sure that we have everything unlocked. While all these cutscenes are going on, might as well do that. And you can see, I don't think I'm missing anything, but I can check after this. I can figure this out. Yeah, we have pretty much everything. We got to do one more of these, open up the gates. And yeah, by the way, some of the stuff that is missing, the reason it's missing is because it's DLC. That's why we don't have it. It's not because I don't actually have it. But yeah, I could just not tell you why it's not counting as done. Whatever. Also, all quests are done, and we also have all instincts done, 99 out of 99. But now it's time to fight the final boss. But the boss doesn't want us to fight him yet because he says the boss fight isn't done. I don't really care about that though. So what we're gonna do is go behind him and attack him. And yeah, we did it. That's the boss fight. He goes and dies, and of course, that means I can dance. So yeah, we're kind of just hanging out, enjoying our lives. You know, we won. We did the boss fight. Though, he comes back then. And now it's time for the boss fight, which is like, the joke is, oh, they didn't have time to finish the boss fight. They wanted us to wait a little bit longer. But literally, all we have to do for this is use our rocket powers. They are so overpowered for this. Like, we could just easily dodge out of the way. Then he's going to come down, and with that, I just want to follow after him, hit him a couple of times. Oh, excuse me, sir. And yeah, you just got to hit him a few times and just kind of repeat this. But his next attacks are even easier because what we can do is just go up into the air and dodge every single one of these. It's not even a problem. Then he comes down. Of course, we go ragdoll for a second, but hit him some more. And yeah, we're just pretty much doing this over and over again. But this final part of this phase is kind of interesting because he puts tractors down. These would be really fun to dodge, you know, if I couldn't just fly above them. And we are pretty easily able to take out his first phase of health. So easy. But he needs some more time to get his next part. So we kind of have to chill with a soccer ball for a second. You know, just have fun time. Oh, there it goes. Until it is time for some hide and seek. So what we got to do here is find where the farmer is. For this first one, he's always just going to be on the ground somewhere. Can take him out easily. Then round 2, we just want to look around for him again. But this time, he's going to be in one of these boxes. We actually got super lucky with that. Third, I want to start boosting up into the air because I know he's going to be somewhere around the air. And yeah, just straight over there. So we get up to him, hit him, off the thing, easy gotality. And then for this next one, I want want to have the tickler, and that is because we're going to be murdering some people. Because now there's just going to be a bunch of these people, and I have to find where the correct one is. So while I'm looking around, might as well just kill a bunch of them. I think that's him. No, it isn't. Oh, it's this one. All right, nice and easy. Now, next up, we have the retro part where he makes this entire thing into a retro game, and we get to play through it. So it's just like a Mario game, but since we have the firework launcher, all we have to do is just spam this, and kind of funny. I mean, he's trying to make some fun boss fights. He's just not that good at it. Finally, we get through all those coins. We just kind of stay up to the top of the map, launch ourselves down. There he is, and we can just hit the finish pole. Nice and easy. That's going to take him out for that bit of health. Another easy win. And then we get into his server room. And for this last part, all we have to do is just destroy all the servers around. He doesn't even try to stop us for this part. I just kind of go around. And after we get through them, that's nice and easy. And we have the last phase. Now for this final bit, we just have to head up these stairs and kind of die for a second. But we end off with this really cool green car where we have to go through and just kind of make it to the end. There's a bunch of explosives. The whole game is just getting destroyed as we go through. You know, it's a good time. And we're gonna go through this dude, just kind of crash through that. Just tons of stuff going on as we go. But we got to make sure that there's 100% data corruption. So that's our main deal. And one thing is you don't want to take jumps as much as possible because those will slow you down. It is faster to be on the ground. And finally, we make it over to this last little area where we just have to go forward for a while as we corrupt more data. And then we make it to that spot, and that's going to be time 309.49. At least if the game is actually broken and I do have the outfits. I'll check in a sec. What could be missing? I don't know. My gosh, I found it. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Well, that is now everything. It was from the present, and I had world record if it wasn't for that. That's so frustrating. At least I can undo my splits, end them right there, and that's our new time, 3:26.42. I actually cannot believe that was the issue. That's gonna be second place. I'm not gonna do this run again. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.